Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
According to Peter King of the MMQB, he says that he sat with some of the San Francisco 49ers, and he believes that Colin Kaepernick might be more interested in fighting against social justice instead of playing football. He says, I spent a long draft weekend with the Niners in California. You know, there's a lot in the building within Kaepernick. Might actually just rather do social justice work full time rather than being a quarterback. He says he hasn't spoken to Colin Kaepernick, so I have no idea what, his gut is telling him. But
I was with Colin Kaepernick all weekend.
Yes. And do you have any insight here?
I have not ever spoke to him. No, I have, but not recently. Not in many months. Talked to him about football, and many months ago we talked about this particular moment, which I warned him that he would be seen as a risk,
right,
because of his stance, his social stance,
right,
which he was prepared to accept that responsibility.
That's right.
It's not something I don't think he's ever talked about or anyone's ever talked about, but I do know that he is interested in things where he feels welcomed and loved. And the amount of love that he gets walking around the streets of New York or going to these cities and people seeing him. He was on South Side of Chicago over the weekend, and even in more affluent black areas like Hyde Park in near the South Side of Chicago.
People freak to see him, right?
Love. Like they're seeing
someone important.
Important.
No, I agree. It's his impact right now is really big, and I think Colin absolutely cares more about what he's doing for the community than football. Absolutely does.
I think he sees the long-term effects. Like
football's
a game.
Even if he comes back to football, by the way, he's like 28, whatever he is. 29.
He loves football.
He loves it, football. But it would still end in 5 years. That's just what life is. He'll be doing this till he's 85.
Yeah, but okay, so why can't he do both? It's just hard for me to say that he would just rather do this. I'm sure he loves.
I'm sure he wants to do both.
I think he wants to do both.
I don't think it's an either or. I think he wants. But the either or is. Don't put me in an environment where I'm not appreciated and loved, because I have plenty of environments where I'm appreciated and loved.
But then the problem is you need a team that happens to be in one of those places where they think they could.
Seattle, a Bay Area, maybe L.A., maybe Minnesota.
For the record, I think that opportunity will come. It's just a matter of when it comes. Jay Cutler didn't get a job. And me and Nessa got into a big argument that time because she was like, but Jay Cutler's trash. Jay Cutler's not trash.
He's not trash.
He had a nice career with his, what his downsides are. But he just signed a deal with Fox because he hasn't gotten offered a job. So he's going to go work for Fox. And if he gets a call during the year, he can leave Fox and go play football. But, do I think it's unfair what's happening to Colin? I do. I think he's completely worthy of playing in the NFL. But I also know, and it was a risk he took when he decided to go and be a real activist. That's what being an activist is about. I don't
even think people have really spent time analyzing yet and telling the story of a conscious risk that someone basically threw away millions. Potentially, it's not over yet. But millions of dollars. Think about that. Knowingly took a stand. I don't think anybody stops. I haven't seen articles. The woke folk don't openly run around and talk about, look, how are we going to rally around this individual who basically sacrificed a career in sports for something they believed in? Because he could have sat quiet. It's not like he comes from a place that's challenged. He doesn't come from a family that has challenges. He's adopted into a nice upper middle class family.
No, and he took on challenges.
Yes.
He decided to do what everyone talks about. When he woke up and really got to learn what was happening, he was like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to step into this world, and I'm going to continue to be active. Not just when it's hot on social media. Everyone's moved on to other stuff.
Yes, that's
They've
right.
taken the Black Lives Matter logo off their page. Not Colin. He's going hard every single day. I hope he gets a job. He's deserving of a job. But whether he gets it or not, the role that he plays in the community, this is going to be what he does. This is what his legacy is going to be.